All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look in this tutorial on how to navigate around our 3D scene. Once you start this tutorial, there's no looking back. So, how do we navigate? Well, the first way to navigate is called tumbling. If you middle mouse, click, and drag, you can see that we can tumble around our scene, which basically allows for us to rotate around our 3D object. Now, this can take some getting used to. I remember in the beginning, I was like this. I was like a drunk 3D artist all over the place. But once you get the hang of it, it's quite simple. Now you might be asking, but Alex, I don't have a 3-button mouse. I have a laptop. What do I do? Well, I'm sorry to say, unfortunately, you can't do 3D arts. I'm only kidding. They thought about everything. So if you go over here to File, User Preferences, and then go to Input, you could select Emulate 3-button mouse. Now, if you hold down the Alt key and then left click and drag, you can tumble around your scene. Pretty cool. So that's for those of us that don't have a 3-button mouse, or for those of us that just don't like the middle mouse button. I mean, who likes that guy anyways? Now, the next way to tumble, or the next way to move around your scene is called panning. Shift middle mouse button will allow for you to pan to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, up or down. Pretty cool. And once again, Alt Shift left click if you do not have a middle mouse button. And the last one is zooming in and out, which, as you guessed it, mouse scrolling up is zooming in, mouse scrolling down is zooming out. Or if we just don't like that middle mouse button, Control Alt left click and moving your mouse up and down will zoom in and out. Awesome. So now let's say that you want to go into a certain perspective, or you want to go, for example, straight to the front of the cube. Well, you could tumble around there and go directly to the front of the cube, but that takes an extra couple of seconds and we might not have it exactly in the right perspective. So to save us some time, we could use shortcut keys. The following keys do as follows. Number 1 on the numpad goes to front view, as dictated by the words up here, front perspective. And then 3 on the numpad goes to side view or right perspective. And 7 goes to the top view or top perspective. Now, what about if you want to go to the opposite side? Well, holding down Control, 1, 3, and 7 will go to the opposite side of the cube. So bottom, left, and back. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at a couple more options we got here, and then you'll be a master at navigation. Number 4 allows for you to move in increments to the left. 6 allows for you to move in increments to the right. 8 allows for you to move in increments up, and 2 in increments down. And again, this is on the numpad. So now you have no excuse for whatever perspective or angle you want to look at your cube or your 3D scene, because using all those and mastering them a little bit, you'll soon be able to navigate in any which way possible. Let's look at one very last thing. You can see that right here it says user perspective. Now, perspective means that our scene has perspective or depth to it. We can see that our cube right now looks like a 3-dimensional cube, which is a good thing because we're in a 3D program. So of course we want 3D objects. But if we press 5 on the numpad, we go into what's called orthographic view. Everything is basically flattened out and there's no more perspective to it. Now you might ask, why would I need to flatten my 3D scene into a 2-dimensional scene? Well, it comes in very handy when we're modeling or doing certain other things, which we'll take a look at in the future tutorials. I'm going to hit 5 to go back into perspective, and you can see that our cube looks 3-dimensional once again. And so those are the ways to navigate around your 3D scene. Very well done. Just practice it. You'll soon be a master at it. I'll see you in one of the next tutorials. Until then, take care. Au revoir. Alright, and let's take a look at our quote for the end of this tutorial to set our mindset for our 3D arts and for life in general. So the quote is as follows: Imagination is the creative power that each and every one of us has been given since birth. Everything originates from imagination. Most of us, however, have pushed this power down and subdued it due to societal conditioning. Imagination is that potential power from which all things originate. Release it and use it to create the life that you desire. Use your imagination for your life and, of course, for your 3D arts. Imagination is key. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Ciao.